Well, this is your typical setup for our Saluki radio previews as the Salukis are in the Gulf Coast Showcase for the second time all time in program history. Last time they were in it, the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs won it, and that will be their first opponent on Monday afternoon. With the coach, Ronnie Watson, I am Luke Martin here with your preview for Louisiana Tech. And Coach Watson, you look at this La Tech team. If you're a Saluki fan and you're tired of seeing preseason players of the year, well, guess what? You're going to be sick and tired of this guy as well. Botcho right now is the preseason player of the year in Conference USA. He's coming off a game just the other day, granted against a non-D1, but still a 38-point ball game for him.
Yeah, Texas Tech transfer. He's a fifth-year senior, so you got all that going for you. And in addition, being 6'11", averaging almost 23 points a game, 6.5 rebounds. How about this? These shooting numbers. 89% from the floor, 90 from the free throw line. So you can't foul him either. So Southern's going to be tested again in the low post.
You think of distributing the basketball, how good Xavier Johnson was last year. Well, Sean Newman Jr. this year for Louisiana Tech, he leads the NCAA right now in assists per game, averaging over 11 assists per game.
Yeah, going to be a good test, whether it's Ali Deba or whoever Southern puts on him. Here's a 6'1" guard that's really enjoys distributing the ball. He got 14 in a non-D1 game in the last time out, so maybe that skews it a little bit, and they've had a couple of those. But all that said, he's willing to pass, and he's got guys that can finish.
Will Jeffress, he transfers in from Pitt, where he was a really good player for them, played there for 4 years, had 1 year where he was injured and missed a good majority of the time. And you look what him bringing in, Coach Watson, he right now averaging just about 9 points per game and 7 rebounds per game. So he's provided a spark for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I mean, that means they can score in different parts of the floor. That just gives them one more added look.
Amari Abram, he's someone who also transfers in. He had a major impact at Ole Miss his freshman year. Last year, he was at Georgia Tech. He's averaging 16 points per game right now and just over 4 rebounds a game.
Now, the scary part is it's 48% from three, where he's getting a lot. He's their best three-point shooter, the one they really go to. He's kind of their three-point shooting guy. That's another area where Southern's been tested all season long, and they'll be tested again.
Coach Watson, when you look at this Louisiana Tech team, according to KenPom, they're 318th in the country in terms of minutes production by their bench, which means they don't utilize their bench a ton. They're using it right around 25%. Saluki is about 36%. They're upwards in terms of in the upper half of the country. So a lot of the players that La Tech uses are mostly their starters, not necessarily relatively deep.
Yeah, they shoot 53% from the team with that group. They score a lot of points, 87.5 points a game. Their pace isn't crazy. I don't think it's going to be the same pace as maybe Oklahoma State or maybe even Florida. And it's not necessarily that empowering of a team, but these guys know how to play. They're old. You can tell they're bought into this system, and it's really impressive what they're getting done. They're 37% from three, 75 from the line. So there's no obvious weaknesses. Defensively, Southern's got to test their defense. They got to go at them. They've got to score in spots where they can score best and not experiment with this game. Southern's got to take what they got from Florida, that physical, tough play, which the score was lopsided only because of that 21-2 run in the mid part of after the 8-minute media timeout the other night. Southern played extremely tough and physical, and you can't simulate that in practice. So you can't just practice being tough unless you're going against it and really checking where you are. I think that's an advantage Southern's got going in this game, just who they've played. And Southern's a wounded animal right now from a standpoint of things haven't gone well in the preseason the way they wanted to. They're 2-3. They're a team that knows how to fight, and they've been forced to fight, and I think that's will be their MO going against La Tech Bulldogs.
2 o'clock Central will be tip-off on Monday afternoon, which means our pregame coverage will begin for you across the Saluki Radio Network at 1 o'clock on Monday afternoon. We hope you join us then. It's the first of 3 games to come this week for Southern Illinois, Eastern Kentucky on Tuesday, and then Florida Tech on Wednesday to close out this Gulf Coast Showcase. But first things first, it's the first game against Louisiana Tech, who's a top 100 KenPom team. So it's going to be a tremendous opportunity for Southern Illinois. We will talk to you Monday afternoon here from Estero, Florida in Hertz Arena. For the coach, Ronnie Watson, I am Luke Martin. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Saluki Nation. Go Dogs.